Welcome back to Mondays with May from Arts for All. My name is Mélissa and I am a teaching artist with Arts for All. If you've had me in your classroom or if you've been watching, you might recognize me as Miss May. Hello. For those of you that don't know Arts for All offers accessible artistic opportunities to children in the New York City area. And we are always working to incorporate our 5 core values, working to build self-confidence, self-expression, teamwork, resilience, and creativity in children. And while our focus does remain in New York City through all of our virtual learning content, we are so happy to have children from anywhere be able to join us, like right here on Mondays with May with me. I'm coming to you from my apartment in Brooklyn, New York, on Lenape land. I wonder where you might be watching from. Make sure you tell us in the comments if you're watching live or if you're watching on the replay. Tell us in the comments, where are you joining us from today? All right, everyone, we are going to start off by warming up our bodies. I'm going to stand up and move my body. You do what feels best and safe on your body and in your space. You can copy me as best you can. You can put your own flair on it, do it your own way. I'm going to start by standing and I'm going to send my energy upwards. What does upwards energy look like on your body and in your space today? I'm going up on my toes. I'm reaching up to my ceiling, maybe even a little jump. And now I'm going to send my energy down. What does downward energy look like? Feel like for you today? I'm going to reach down and touch my toes. And let's send our energy upwards again. Upwards energy. We're going up, and downward energy. What does downward energy look like and feel like for you today? Nice. Now I am going to reach over to one side and I'm going to say, ooh, ooh. And I'm going to reach over to the other side and say, ah, ah. And I'm going to bend my knees and I'm going to open wide and I'm going to say, wow, 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 wow. Then I'm going to do and say, twist, other way, twist. That feels good. Let's do all of that again. Ooh, ooh. Ah, ah, bending my knees. Wow, 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 wow. And twist, twist. Nice. Now we're going to isolate our head. I'm going to look up to my ceiling and down to my toes. Up to my ceiling and down to my toes. Ceiling, toes, ceiling, toes, ceiling, toes, ceiling, toes. Nod your head. Say yes. Yes. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Say yeah. Uh-huh, 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 uh-huh. Now look over one shoulder, over the other shoulder, over your shoulder, over your other shoulder. Look from shoulder to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder, back and forth, shoulder to shoulder. And now, shake your head. Say no, no way, no way, Say no, no way. Say no means no. You got it. Now we're going to move our shoulders. Can you move your shoulders like a bicycle? And in the other direction. Good. Lift those shoulders up. Big shrug, say, no. And drop those shoulders. And lift those shoulders up, say, whoa, I don't know. And drop them shoulders. One more time, let the shoulders up, say, oh no. And drop your shoulders. Give them a shake, 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 shake. And now we are going to shake out our entire body. We're going to shake, 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 and count down from 10 to 0. Ready? Shake it out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh! Resync in your space. 2, 1, 0. Awesome. I feel nice and warmed up. When my body is warmed up, it helps my mind feel warmed up too. Let's jump into what today's going to be about. It is the month of May, and we are still celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Woohoo! Now, during Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, or AAPI, is a shortened way that we spell it out sometimes or say it. We celebrate it every year in the month of May in the United States to celebrate and highlight the history, heritage, and contributions of the Asian Pacific American communities. Now, where are these people, the Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, Where do those people live and come from? Where does that heritage stem from? Well, let's take a look at the map. So let's start off looking. This is not, well, there are a lot of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders here in New York City. Well, we started in New York. We're going to zoom out. So here is the Statue of Liberty. Do you see it? Let's zoom out. That's New York City. That's where I am. We're going to zoom, zoom, zoom till we can see the United States. My guess is that most people watching are watching in the United States. We're going to zoom out a little bit more and we're going to go scooch, scooch, scooch over this way. This is Hawaii. That's part of the Pacific Islands. There's the North Pacific Ocean. Here is Asia. We see Japan, South Korea, China, all of these islands, India, Pakistan. We are going to hear a story today, someone from Pakistan. That's right over here. And we're also going to hear some music from someone that is Filipino American. Here are the Philippines over here. As you can see, Asia and the Pacific Islands are big. There's a lot of countries involved. That means that the heritage and culture of the Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders is very, very vast. There's a lot of different culture, a lot of different languages, lots and lots of history. It's so much. I wish we could cover it all and get into all of it, but today we are going to hear songs and stories from 2 more places that are represented in the Asian American and Pacific Island community. All right, friends, we are going to start off by thinking of a way that we can celebrate heritage and culture through stories and music, of course. And another really big one is through food. Ooh. Is anyone feeling a little hungry? I wonder if you are. We are going to read a story about food in today's book. Let's get ready. Today's book is called Bilal Cooks Daal. Here it is. I wonder which of these kids is Bilal. They are cooking Daal. We're going to find out what that is. This book is by Aisha Saeed, illustrated by Anoosha Syed. Bilal cooks Daal. Ooh, we see here we have one kid has some onions. Oh, one of them fell. This kid has some salt and pepper, and this kid is holding a pot. Bilal is biking outside with his friends. Can you pretend to ride a bicycle? When his father steps outside the house. Bilal, it's time to begin cooking dinner, says Abu. Abu, who is Abu? It's his father, of course. Abu is father. Bilal's friends ask why they would need to start cooking so early. This dish takes patience, Abu says. This dish takes time. It's the best meal of all, says Bilal. It's Daal. What's Daal like? Is it salty? Does it taste really good? Daal is nutty and creamy and warm like soup. There are all different kinds. Come see, you can help us pick which one. And here is Bilal dreaming of Daal. Here it is in the pot. Here it is in the bag. Here it is on the plate. They take off their shoes. They wash their hands. Everybody wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Bilal grabs his favorite stool. Do you take your shoes off when you go in your house? For some cultures, it is absolutely part of the culture to take your shoes off when you come in the house. So if you go to someone's house and that is part of their culture, A way to be respectful is to take off your shoes, even if it's not a rule in your own house. Now they are ready. They study the colors: yellow for Shana, orange for Moon, green for Masur, brown for Urad. Yellow, Elias says, because yellow is sunflowers, rubber ducks, and the sun. And Shana Daal is my favorite, Bilal says. Perfect. When Abu scoops out a cup of the bright yellow Daal, it clatters into the bowl. They're small like pebbles, but shaped like pancakes. And they slip through Bilal's fingers like sand. Can you imagine the sound it makes when it goes into the bowl? Can you make the sound you think it would make? They line up the spices. Bilal breathes in the scents of turmeric, chili, cumin. Take a big sniff. Can you smell it? Elias tries to help. Bilal combines the spices and Abu pulls out a pot, the biggest they have. It looks funny, Morgan frowns. It smells funny, whispers Elias. Do you think it will taste okay? And suddenly, Bilal is a little, tiny bit worried. Just maybe his friends won't like Daal at all. Is it ready? Asks Elias. Can we taste? Asks Morgan. No, Abu explains. Daal takes time. We have to wait. The flavors mix together slowly. You kids go play and have fun while it cooks. Here is Bilal putting his shoes back on. What are some things you like to do when you need to be patient? What's something you like to do to pass the time when you have to wait for something? Let's see what these friends get into as they test their patience and wait for the Daal. They run outside to play hopscotch. Elias numbers the sidewalk to 20. Let's make it longer to 100, he says. It'll definitely be done by then. Do you think you could hopscotch all the way to 100? That's a lot of hopping. But you know what? I have a feeling you could do it. So they hop, skip, and jump to the end. Caleb and Emma join too. Let's check if it's ready. Let's go take a bite. Do you think it's going to be ready? Let's see. We're having to be patient to see if the Daal is ready. Here we go. Not yet, Bilal tells them. Daal takes time. We have to wait. They put on swimsuits, slip down the slide, and cannonball into Morgan's pool. Elias floats. Morgan dives. Some more Some more neighborhood kids join them, and they play Marco, Polo. Is the Daal done? Asks Morgan. It's gotta be ready by now. What do you think? Do you think that the Daal is ready? Bilal squints at the sun. It's not as high in the sky. Almost, he tells them. Daal takes time. We have to wait. What else could they do while they wait? They hike through the forest and skip pebbles in the stream. Have you ever skipped pebbles in the stream? It's pretty fun. As they watch fireflies glow, they hear Abu call out, Bilal, it's almost time. They march up the cobblestone steps. They knock on the yellow door. Knock, 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 knock. And as loud as they can, they ask, is it done? Now all these kids are very excited for Daal. Come see, Abu smiles and opens the door wider. The kids rush inside. Bilal lifts up the lid. He peeks in the pot. Abu says, ready for the final steps. They dice up onions. Can you dice? And chop ginger, chop. They press garlic, press. And squeeze. Can you squeeze your hands together? Squeeze lemons on top of it with fresh cilantro. Bilal puts out plates. Abu sets out the naan. The kids pull up every chair in the house. Do you know what naan is? It is a kind of bread. It's super yummy. Bilal watches his friends take a spoonful of dal. Yum. It's steamy, says Morgan. Like soup, says Elias. It tastes garlicky and salty and sweet. I like the onions. I like the lemon. And the way it's so creamy, it melts in your mouth. Dal takes time. We had to wait. But Bilal, you were right. Dal tastes great. Bilal looks at his dad and smiles. Abu winks. Can you wink? Tasty, isn't it? He says, like my Ami once said. Like my Ami once made. My friends and I helped her once, like you. Do you know who Ami might be? It's his mother. Abu is father and Ami is mother. And there is Abu ruffling Bilal's hair. All right, now we are being patient for the page to turn. Oops, turned too many. Daal is tiny. Daal is tough. But with a little time and a lot of patience, it becomes the softest, tastiest, best thing in the whole wide world. And the best part is sharing it with friends. That's why Bilal loves Daal so much. And there is Bilal sitting at the table with all of his friends enjoying some Daal. A little note from the author. It says Daal is a staple food in much of South Asia, including in Pakistan, where Bilal's grandparents grew up. We looked at Pakistan on the map, remember? Daal, also known as lentils in English, is the name of a very thick vegetarian stew full of healthy protein and vitamins. And there are many different types of dal, each with their own color, shape, and flavor. Some cook slow, some cook quick, some can take all day to make just right. People eat dal with rice, with bread, the naan that we talked about, and sometimes just with a spoon. Have you ever had dal? Have you ever had lentil soup? And here is a recipe for dal. I might give this a try. All right, that sounds so delicious. And there is Bilal. I borrowed this book from the Brooklyn Public Library. So shout out to the library. We already Miss May loves the library. I love checking books out from the library. If you didn't know, you can get a library card pretty much anywhere you live in the country. You can get a library card and you can take books out online if you can't make it to your local library. Pretty cool. Well, that was Bilal Eats Dal. And now, friends, let's get ready for our 60-second dance break. For today's 60-second dance break, we are dancing to a song from Little Miss Anne called I Like Rice. Did you know that rice is one of the most popular foods in the entire world? Yeah, it's true. And as we saw from the book, it goes great with dal. So here is a little snippet of I Like Rice from Little Miss Anne. Get up and move your body any way you like for 60 seconds.
Night, it's always right. Morning, day, or night. I like rice. Morning, day, or night. It's always right. Morning, day, or night. I like rice. My friend Fred, he likes his bread. My friend likes to eat. Then there's me who likes to eat. Then there's me who likes to eat. Morning, day, and night, it's always right. Morning, day, and night, I like rice. Morning, day, and night, it's always right. Morning, day, and night, I like rice.
Oh, I hope you did some awesome dance moves. I hope you got your energy up. I hope you like rice. We are going to take a moment to cool down. We're going to take 3 deep breaths together. Get in a comfortable position. It can be sitting, it can be laying down, standing, whatever feels comfortable to you. I'm going to use my hands to scoop that air. I'm going to use my hands like it's in a big pot of rice, scooping out some rice balls. And take 3 deep breaths with me. One more. Now give yourself a big squeeze and give yourself a pat on the back and some loving because you deserve it. All right, some ideas you can do to continue learning about and celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander heritage. One thing is to explore the map, like we were looking at earlier. A lot of features, if you're looking at a map on the internet, you can take a little kind of virtual person, plop yourself inside the map, and look around. It's pretty cool. Even if you just scroll over all the different countries, you can see how different each place looks just by looking at it. You can imagine how much culture, how rich the culture must be all over. So explore the map. Second is make yourself a rice portrait. I used some glue, a paper plate, and a little bit of rice. Now, before you do this, make sure you ask if it's okay if you use some rice in your pantry to make art. It looks just like me. Come on, this looks exactly like me. I made this rice portrait. I used the glue to draw the lines, and then I poured the rice on top. I only needed a little bit of rice, and then I shook it around the plate so it stuck to the glue. And then I shook off the excess and I ended up with this. Now I added a little bit of color. I think the next step would be, if you have watercolors or paints, is to color in the portrait. Now, if you do make a portrait, please share it with me. I really want to see the artwork you make. You can email any artwork to learn more at artsforall.org if you'd like to share any artwork you've worked on from Mondays with May. The last thing to do is to try new foods. If you like to cook, maybe you can look up a recipe for Daal and make it at home, or you can find a local restaurant or business to support and try some new foods out. Now, as you're trying new foods, let's talk about ways we can talk about the foods we're trying. If it smells like something you've never smelled before, I'm remembering a part in the book where they said, it smells weird and funny. I don't remember the exact words they used, but it made Bilal kind of frown and feel worried. You can talk about something being different than what you're used to without using negative words, without saying, ew, gross. You can say, oh, that's different than anything I've tried before, or I'm curious, right? So it's really good to be curious about new foods, and it's okay if you don't like it, but it's not really nice to say that things are gross or ew just because they're unfamiliar to you when they're part of someone else's culture. So that's something to remember as we try new foods. All right, friends, that's it. those are my ideas for things you can do to keep celebrating and learning about Asian American and Pacific Islander heritage and culture. A few announcements. Voice Power is still available till the end of this month, till May 31st. You can view it on YouTube, even if you missed the premiere. We're going to put the link in the comments. That is Voice Power by teaching artist Darian Deshawn. It's a really awesome interactive show for kids to learn about the power of your voice. Next, if you've been enjoying Mondays with May, would you please take a very quick survey? It's going to be less than 2 minutes long. Let us know your thoughts and ideas. I love to hear what you're thinking, what you're enjoying. And lastly, would you please rate Arts for All on great nonprofits? There's going to be links in the comments to make it really easy for you to help us out in those few ways. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And I will see you next week. Keep being curious. I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
Morning, day, or night.